Hey everyone, this is Hash, and today we're going to learn how to play Arch Enemy's Handshake in Hell. We are in standard C tuning, so that's going to be quite low if you're in standard E. I'm going to give you guys my A string, which is tuned to an F note, but I will also upload a longer video where you can tune all your strings to my guitar if you'd like. But for this video's sake, I'm just going to give you guys my A string a few times so you can tune up. But if you need some more time to tune your guitar, just click the link in the description below so you can go to the longer tuning video and then you can come right back. So here's my A string, which is tuned to an F. So let's start with the intro where we hear this guitar. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the index finger of my right hand and I'm tapping on the 12th fret of my B string. But what I'm also doing with my left hand is I'm pulling off from the 10th and the 8th fret of my B string to an open B string. So as you can see, what I did here is when I went 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, I went 7, 8. And each time I'm pulling off to an open string. So you first have to practice this part of it. So each time I hit the frets, I'm pulling off to an open B string. And then what I'm doing is I'm tapping on the 12th fret of my B string with my index finger of my right hand. And then what I do is I go to the 17th fret of my B string and I go. So we're changing things a little bit here. Now I'm tapping on the 17th fret of my B string. But now what I'm doing is I'm going to be tapping on the 15th fret of my B string as well as the 13th fret and the 12th fret. So I'm going to go. So to recap, so after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way to the 22nd fret of my B string. I'm going to tap it and I'm going to pull it off, but with my left hand, I'm going to be tapping on the 20th fret of my B string. So I'm going to go. And then the second time around, when they do this riff from here, they go down over here to the high E string. There's a second guitar that's doing. And that's again the 22nd fret of the high E and the 20th fret of the high E. So the rhythm behind that riff is so what we're doing is we're playing our E string open and the second fret of our A and D string. It's this monster roaring sound. And then we go to the 3rd fret of our A string and the 5th fret of our D string. This is a C power chord. And then we go 2 frets up to the 5th fret of our A and 7th fret of our D string. This is a D power chord. So we go. and then we're going to go 2 frets up. So we slide to the 7th fret of our A string and the 9th fret of our D string. And this is a E power chord, and then we're going to come back to our C power chord. 3rd fret of our A, 5th fret of our D string. So to recap, again, and then we go so all I'm doing here is I'm playing this power chord, which is our E power chord, 7th fret of our A, 9th fret of our D string. I'm going 2 frets back to a D power chord, so I'm sliding. So keep doing this over and over again, and then the song goes into the grand opening. So there's a little riff in the beginning that goes, and there's a whammy bar there, but I don't have one on this guitar, so I can't show you that part, but I can show you the notes. So we start off with the 9th fret of our G string, 12th fret of our B, 12th fret of our E, 17th fret of our high E, and then we're going to do bends on the 22nd fret, and then there's a hammer-on and pull-off from the 17th fret to the 22nd. And if you have a whammy bar, you can have fun with it. Again. All right, so then we go into the rhythm of the song, which is okay, so let's break this into 2 parts. So the first part, just pay attention to the strumming pattern. So I'm going, that's my right hand. And what I'm doing with my left hand is I'm playing the 7th fret of my A string and the 9th fret of my D string, which is an E power chord, and I'm playing my low E string open as well. So I'm going. It's actually pretty fun to play. So after I do, I'm going to take the 9th fret and I'm going to make it the 7th fret. So I should say I'm going to take my ring finger off the 9th fret, and instead I'm going to put my middle finger on the 7th fret of my D string. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm playing my low E string open because this note and this note are the same. Usually this would be an E, but right now we're in 2 steps lower in standard C tuning. So this and this, they're both C notes. That's the music theory for you right there. So what I'm doing is, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the 7th fret of my D string, now I'm going to go to the 5th fret. So remember, we started from here, went here, now we're going to go. So now we're playing the 5th fret of our D string with our index finger of our left hand, and the 7th fret of our A string with our ring finger of our left hand. And once again, this note, this low E string complements this chord. And that's because this note and this note, they're the same note. So we went from 2, 2. And to finish it off, what we're going to do is we're going to play a D power chord, which is the 5th fret of our A string and the 7th fret of our D string. It gives it this nice little finish and tail end. Exact same strumming pattern. So when I play this power chord, I'm actually muting my low E string because it clashes with these notes. See, it sounds a lot better here, 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 and here. It begins to clash a little bit, so I'm just muting my low E. So once again, this strumming pattern. And then there's the second part of this rhythm, which is I'm playing the 7th fret of my D string and the 5th fret of my G string. I'm doing an upstroke. And then on the downstroke, I'm palm muting my A string. So I'm going to go 2 frets up, upstroke again, downstroke again on the A string, and you mute that. So that's the 9th fret of my D and 7th fret of my G string. Then I'm going to go to the 10th fret of my D and the 9th fret of my G string. So I'm here. That's the 10th fret of my D and the 9th fret of my G string. Upstroke again. Downstroke on the A palm muted. So recap. And then I'm going to go to the 12th fret of my D and 10th fret of my G string, upstroke again. So and then instead of playing my A string, I'm going to go. So from here I went. So then I'm going from here back to the 10th fret of my D string, 9th fret of my G string, and then I go back to the 9th fret of my D and 7th fret of my G string. So recap. So the strumming pattern, upstroke, down on the A string, upstroke, down on the A string, upstroke, down on the A string, upstroke, and then down, up. Again. And then we go to the 1st fret of our low E and the 3rd fret of our A string. Again. Again. And then the second time around we go, and then we do this. So I go from here, from the 1st fret of my low E and 3rd fret of my A string, I go all the way up to the 5th fret, that's my low E string, but the 7th fret this time is going to be not on my A string, but it's going to be on my D string. And I'm muting my A string. So my A string is muted, and I'm playing this note, which is the 7th fret of my D string, and I'm playing the 5th fret of my low E, and then I go just 1 fret back. Now I'm on the 4th fret of my low E and the 6th fret of my D string, and you can hear him doing this. So I go. So let's recap slow. That's the first time. Second time. So when you come here, you can even lift your finger off the 6th fret because all you hear is this. Again. All right, so then the next part is okay, so what we're doing here is we're starting off with the 9th fret of our G string, 9th fret of our D string. So back to the G string, back to the D string, back to the G. So there you go. And then we go to the 11th fret of our G string, slide to the 12th fret, back to the 11th. So we went again. And then we play the 12th fret of our D string, back to the 11th fret of our G string. And then we do the same picking pattern as we did here. So let's recap. We started here. Same picking pattern. And then we have to go up, right? And we go from our 12th fret of a G string to the 14th fret, back to the 12th fret. So again. And then what we're going to do is 12th fret for D, 12th fret for G, back to the D, and then we're going to go to the 12th fret for D string, and we're going to go to the 12th fret for G string. So we went. And then what we're going to do is so we play the 13th fret of our B string, and then we do a hammer on from the 12th to the 13th, pull off, fourteenth fret of our G string, 12th fret, and then we go 11, 12, 11 on our G string to the 12th fret for D string. So recap. Again. And I can also hear a guitar in the background that's harmonizing this part. That's over here. So here what I'm doing is instead of going from 13, 12 to 13, I'm going 17, 15, 17 on my B string. And then I'm playing the 17th of my G to the 16th. And then 14, 16, 14 on my G string to the 16th fret of my D string. So, and that's this part. Okay, so the rhythm behind this is so it's pretty simple. So what we're doing is we're playing the 7th fret of our A string and the 9th fret of our G string. We're going to mute the D string, pull it 1 fret back, 6th fret of our A, 8th fret of a G string. So then we're going to go to the 3rd fret of our low E, 5th fret of our A string, 2 frets up, 5th and 7th frets, 2 frets up, 7th and 9th. So we went so that's really all there is for the rhythm behind that part. So then there's a part with clean tone, and I'm just going to play it with my gain a little turned down. So here's this part. All right, so what we're doing there is we're playing our low E open, and we're going to play the 9th fret of our D string and the 9th fret of a G string. And then we're going to play the 7th fret of our D string instead of the 9th. We go. And then we're going to go 2 frets lower to the 5th fret of our D string and the 7th fret of our G string. We're going to stay here for a while. Again. And then they go into So what I'm doing here is I'm playing the 10th fret of my A string and the 12th fret of my D and G string. It's an arpeggio. And then I'm going to go 2 frets lower. That's the 8th fret of my A, 10th fret of my D and G string. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my index finger on the 6th fret of my A string, and I'm going to put my middle finger on the 8th fret of my D string, and my pinky stays on the 10th fret of my G string. So there's a little bit of a stretch here. And from there I'm going to go to the 8th fret of my A string and the 7th fret of my D string to end it. So let's do this again. Let's recap it. Again. Then. Alright, well, that sums it up. I hope this lesson helped. Let me know if you'd like me to teach any other songs like this one. I just didn't see any lessons out there, and that's why I made this video for this song. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.